So as we all know, the Fire Stingray is going through a hard time with the Golden Fox absolutely destroying the competition. All three of the other machines, in fact. Now let's get this out the way first. Of course, all machines have a great chance at winning, and overall the game's balance is pretty good. But the Golden Fox has such high highs compared to the other machines that it's really hard to compete sometimes. Hey, I'm Mitzelplix, also known as Graces, and here we are today to discuss about the Golden Fox and why it's so strong, and what could be done to fix it. Now, I must state this now, I am not an insane player at the game, but I have been rapidly improving with a total of 78 wins, and I feel like I have a decent understanding of how the game works now, and I would like to share some opinions on what I think could be done to make this game even greater than what it already is. Well, why is the Golden Fox meta, might you ask? Well, from a glance it might seem it wouldn't be all too great with its low top speed and terrible grip. But with its insane recovery stat, you are able to boost so often with this machine and face almost no consequences with smart playing. And because of this, even in some of the smaller drop pit areas, the Golden Fox can almost recover more than half of its HP off of an empty health bar. Like the Whiteland 1 drop pit, for example. And with the ability to get its top speed very quickly compared to something like the Fire Stingray, which has terrible acceleration rate but has the best top speed in the game. But with factors of other players and bumpers and accidental or unavoidable sloppy driving, getting and keeping your top speed compared to something like the Golden Fox can be really challenging, but it's far from impossible. For an example, let's take a look at Deathwind 1. Look at me in the eyes and tell me this is okay. On simpler maps, the Golden Fox absolutely triumphs the competition, which is the main issue I think is with this machine. It definitely struggles on bigger maps and maps with more sharp turns, but can still easily keep its head in the game. So I wanted to think of some potential reworks for not just the Golden Fox, but a few other machines. So now that we're on the topic of reworks, remember that these are what I personally think would help the game flow better. So I encourage you to leave a comment and tell me what you think they should do to balance the game better than it already is. I'm very curious about what others have to say, so we will be going in order of Golden Fox, Fire Stingray, Blue Falcon, and the Wild Goose, of course. So starting off with the Golden Fox, I have two options I can think of to better balance this machine. So for the first option, right now the Golden Fox can boost 5 times before its health bar is completely depleted. We could increase the boost consumption to cause the Golden Fox to only have 4 or 4.5 worths of boost per health bar, just to better balance for its high recovery rate. Or for option 2, we can decrease the machine's recovery rate. I personally think if we went this route, you should only be able to recover either exactly or just under half of your HP, instead of nerfing the amount of the Golden Fox is allowed to boost. But if we went with option 2, I would like to increase this machine's durability by 1/4 of a bar, just under Blue Falcon. I think either of these changes would be the best for the Golden Fox, as while yes, the goal of the Golden Fox is to maintain and front run as often as possible, but I think with these changes, we can keep the goal of the Golden Fox while maintaining a good balance. Up next is the no longer the best, but still pretty good, the Fire Stingray. Now, this thing is complicated. Now, before I go on with the other 3 machines, I want to clarify that I don't think these machines need any changes, but I think it would be fun to add some balance changes to the list. But back to Stingray. Right now the Stingray can only boost 4 times. I don't think it needs another boost, but I think it should have a little bit of extra HP just to help with its survivability. And or, what we could do is just give it a slightly better recovery rate, but I'm not a fan of this one compared to my first option because we still want the 4 machines to feel different from each other while not having one be significantly better than the others. This change is just to help compensate for how terrible the recovery rate is instead of increasing it at all. Here comes the captain, it's Blue Falcon. Now, although this is the most standard of the 4 machines, I personally find this to be the hardest one to win with, because the Blue Falcon tries to do everything, but it's just okay at these things. It's not bad per se, but it's also not out of this world. Just dead in the middle, standard. However, because of this, I don't feel like this machine would really need any changes, period, because I feel like with this machine, they want this to be the skill-dependent machine. Truly test your FZero knowledge on how much you know and how much you can push a standard machine. So yeah, I don't think the Blue Falcon needs any changes. And same for the Wild Goose, actually. While we're at it, this machine's strength is a tank. And it's also the second highest top speed in the game, yet with the worst recovery in the game. but with how defensive this machine is, it completely makes up for it. You just gotta play very defensive at the start, and then play hella aggressive on that last lap to make that final push back into the front. So yeah, the Blue Falcon and the Wild Goose I don't think need any changes, and like I said, it's only the Golden Fox that I truly think needs changes, but I would not be opposed to a change for the Fire Stingray. Now don't get me wrong, I adore almost every track in this game, but another issue with the Golden Fox being dominant is the fact that, well, there's a lot of tracks in the game with a lot of straightaways, which presents zero challenges to all machines, yes, but at the same time, the Fox is made to struggle with turning, but when a map is just a bunch of straightaways, there's nothing to struggle with, and even then, the turns can be conquered by a skilled player, and it's not even that hard to pick up on, so it's very free for everyone. All of the Mute Cities, Big Blue, Deathland 1, Red Canyon 1 and 2 have a fine amount of straightaways for the Golden Fox to dominate on. It's the longer maps with a lot of turns on them that you will have the highest chance to win on if you're anything but a Golden Fox. But that's not to say that it's outclassed, it just means a lot less of this. Must I reiterate? Look at me in the eyes and tell me this is okay. But personally, I think it's okay to have maps where specific machines will have higher strengths than others, and I am far from wanting map reworks. All of these maps are so iconic. If anything, I want new, brand new tracks. Will that happen? I hope! I would love to see tracks that are even longer than stuff like Fire Field, Port Town 2, and Sand Ocean. I love longer maps. To wrap this up, let's go over what we just talked about. The Golden Fox shouldn't be meta. Nothing should be meta. But let's be real here. Is there fair balance in every game? No, there isn't and there won't be. Some things are always bound to be stronger than others, but in the right hands, this fact, in fact, won't be a fact. But with the Golden Fox, in our case, I think it needs some kind of change, whether it's a change to its boost, recovery, or even acceleration, but I don't want them to stray too far away from the original SNES version. I'm not sure if Nintendo will choose to do anything else with this game. I really hope they do, because it'd be super cool and super nice, because this is a really fun game and I love to see them add even more tracks or even better, more machines. FZero has some of the best driving mechanics I have ever felt, and I can only hope for them to give this series more love, for veterans and newcomers like me alike. I think that wraps up everything. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you want to see more videos about FZero. I have a few more ideas that I can think of, and I would like to fully flesh them out one day. Well, that's it. See you guys on the track.